We found this female leopard again in the early morning. As we found her, we saw this troop of baboons coming through the forest towards her. This troop moved very, very quickly, and they hadn't seen her until they were literally right underneath a tree. At that point, she bolted for cover. The whole troop chased after her, just literally running her down, and she just headed for the thickest part of the island she could. The baboons lost her in some Leopard. After about half an hour, they regrouped and headed on their way. And eventually she came out, safe from the baboons now, and slowly headed off in a different direction.
It was still early and the ice rats were already out warming themselves next to their burrows. And I got down on the ground to give a perspective of how ice rats are seeing the world. These rodents are exclusively herbivorous, unlike the omnivorous rats that occur in urban areas. There were two youngsters playing on the bank, and it looked like they were having a little boxing match. When they're not eating, they're sitting next to their holes in this upright position, and they almost look like they're worshipping the sun. Besides the ice rats, I'd been observing the mist swirling below and being carried towards me by the updrafts.
The light was already fading fast, and it was a matter of looking for areas where shafts of light were coming through the canopy. In one such spot, this beautiful white toadstool or fungus covered in these small flies, which I believe are fruit flies, clearly extracting some kind of food from the stem and cap of this fungus. I saw some interesting insects here as well. Quite a large one, beautifully disguised on a leaf. And then a group of very brightly coloured beetles, obviously enjoying these berries, sticking their long proboscis into the berries and sucking some kind of nutrients out. The light was really going, and we only had about half an hour of light left. Now, we know there are a lot of elephants here at Nam Nao, but they're very difficult to see in the daytime. But today was the day that I actually got to see one. You can see the ear here, clearly an Asian elephant, a smaller ear, and also you can see the dome shape of the back rather than the concave shape of the larger African elephant. Her ear quite tatty, even got a hole in it and sort of a bit broken around the fringe. I decided to try and move a little bit closer. There was a rough track and I thought I could get my car down there and round to the other side of her, but When I tried that, she didn't like it at all, and that was the end of elephant filming, and in fact the end of the light for the day.
These are brown hyenas, and they're normally quite secretive, and of course the activities are mainly nocturnal, so we were really lucky to come across these 3 juveniles. Now, whatever had happened during the night, they were still foraging slightly in the morning. Apparently the mother had dropped this off for them at the den, and they were jostling a little bit with this animal hide. What is interesting about the behavior is it wasn't a vicious snarling and mobbing. It was a very courteous interaction, in fact, with a little bit of tugging and pulling. But generally one would give way and then the next one would take over, chewing at the hide and the bits of carcass that remained. And of course the ever-present pied crows. Their positioning actually helped us locate these hyenas in the tall grass. An important thing about these hyenas is the fact that they're only found in southern Africa, and 95% of them are found in Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa. These juveniles are estimated to be approximately 9 to 10 months old. Their behavior and habits is quite different to that of the spotted hyena, and over the next few visits that we'll make to the den, I hope to be able to record the activities to show these differences.